Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is the Bitter Gardener. It's December 26th, and I hope everyone enjoyed the Christmas yesterday. Got all the presents and all the gifts that you wanted. But anywho, I was challenged by Therapy to do the allotment challenge, and I accepted. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the questions and see how this goes. Anyway, how long have you had your plot? My family, my family has been living on this property for 24 years, so we've had it for 24 years. Where did you learn about gardening? Well, I mostly learned about gardening from my father. But I also want to add that my mom and my father grew up on farms in central Alabama, so both of them know about gardening. I guess my mother just left gardening back in Alabama because we live in Florida now. And ever since we've been living here, we've had something growing. So ever since we've been on this property, I've, I've had the pleasure of tending to a garden, even though as a kid I hated gardening. And I really hated gardening. And I actually didn't get into gardening until about 3 years ago. What happened, since I brought it up, what happened was I went to Las Vegas and I had a slushie. I had a pomegranate slushie. And at that point, I had never heard of pomegranates. Crazy enough, I had never heard of pomegranates. And it was actually the color of it that attracted me to it. So I got it, and it was so good. And once I found out what it was, I was like, as soon as I get home, I'm getting a pomegranate tree. So that's what sparked my interest in gardening. But as a kid, all the way up until that point, I hated gardening. I absolutely hated it. But anywho, I know I'm getting off topic, but the third question is about a winter garden. I have four things growing that would be considered a fall or winter vegetable. So since there's only four things, I guess it would be up to, I guess it would be up in there because some people would say, okay, yeah, that's a garden. And some people would say, not really. So I guess I'm up in the air on that one. What was my biggest success this year? My biggest success would have to be my Peruvian white habanero peppers. From the time I got the plants till today, I've had peppers. Non-stop. Steady peppers. Every time I want to go outside, there's some peppers on it. So that would have to be my biggest success. Biggest disaster would have to be my potatoes. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about my potatoes. My sweet potatoes just let me down this year. My potatoes would be the biggest disaster. Tried and true crop. The tried and true crop would have to be the oranges. Every year, year in, year out, we have a laundry list of people saying, hey, when those oranges are ready, we need a bag. Make sure you don't forget us. And even still, we still have more oranges than we can eat. And every year we have at least one box of oranges that just go bad because we can't, we can't eat anymore. So, yeah, the tried and true crop would be oranges. Anything new next year? Of course, of course. Every year, I do what I call the push it to the limit plant. And the reason why I say that is because I don't necessarily agree with only planting fruit trees or vegetables that are supposed to grow in your zone. I believe in pushing it to the limit. And this year, my push it to the limit plant was chocolate. And next year, my push it to the limit plant will be coffee. And I know, where I stay in Florida. And where I stay, we're at sea level. We're not at high elevations. And plus we get cold, but I'm still going to try it. So next year, push it to the limit crop will be coffee. And I already have 6 plants. I just got them like 2 weeks ago. And that's still little babies, like 2 inches. So I'll be doing a video on those pretty soon. How do you preserve your crops? We don't. When we harvest something, we eat it or we give it away. Point blank simple. We don't dehydrate, we don't freeze, we don't do any of that stuff. Once we get it, we eat it or give it away. Favorite dish to make. We don't necessarily have a favorite dish because most of the things that we grow are fruit. So, we just get the fruit and we just eat it. But my mom likes to make this pepper sauce from all the peppers that we pull off the plants. And this is just a mixture of all the peppers that we grow. And she likes to make this pepper sauce. And this pepper sauce, it really gives a kick to like your greens. You put it on like some collard greens or something, and it'll give it a kick, a real kick. And, oh, that was the last question. Okay. So I guess it's time for me to challenge someone. Well, challenge some people. And I think I'm going to challenge my man 829. I'm going to challenge Learn to Grow Food. And I'm going to challenge the Itty Bitty Garden. I thank you for watching my allotment challenge video. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.